Hey, guys, and welcome to an episode of this will be the first episode since I changed it, and that is Nobody Beats Curt Hennig. Nobody. Welcome to episode 71. Of course, the old one was Curt Hennig was best, changed my mind, but we have changed it. It is now called Nobody Beats Curt Hennig. Nobody. Nobody beats Curt Hennig. Nobody. Today on our perfect podcast, we are going to watch along to Curt's match with Rick Martel in 1989. I believe this might have been in Canada, but I could be wrong. It could have been in the United States, so I'm not really sure. But we are going to watch 3 matches that have nothing to do with Curt. There will be some matches that I actually bookmarked. If you check this guy out, I'm going to bring up that stuff in a minute. But the match with Rick Martel was on a prime time. So if you do get to check that out with me, check it out. It is a cool match. I really think Curt was great with Rick Martel because like they had similar, amateur backgrounds and stuff. Even though Martel was from Canada, but he was also AWA champion, so heavyweight champion. Before Curt was, but I mean, still, when he became the model Rick Martel. Now this would be 89, so this would be before he was in Strike Force with Tino Santana, and they would not break them up until WrestleMania 5, I believe. I think that's when Martel walked out on Tino Santana and started going with the Slickster. So they turned him heel, turned him into the model, the Rick Martel. Curt would go on to say, he's the only guy who could pull off pink. I don't know. Curt had similar kind of reddish pinkish, I'm not talking like hot pink or anything, but like Curt had that orangey red salmon color. I think he did have a little pink in there, but I mean it was good. It was still, a part of him. So go ahead and share my screen here. Okay, so what I want you to do is, if you do have an X, follow this history of pro wrestling from around the world. He is really great. He posts all these matches in their entirety. And I think it's really cool. The first one we're going to watch is the Dusty Rhodes versus Mark Lewins, something. Lewins, I think is how you say it. So it was on to this day. In 1979, Houston wrestling. Okay. I've never seen this, so we're going to watch this together. And like I said, guys, just follow him on X. And like I said, he posts these things. So let's watch.
Good shot of the maniac Mark Lewin there, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
A very strange individual, as he will be squaring off against Dusty Rhodes. Mark Lewin, the brass knucks champion, will be defending that championship against the challenge of the American Dream. With me in the broadcast booth, Jeremy Pedrano from NWA Wrestling Revolution. And there we've got the bell.
Now, you talk about Mark Lewin being a strange individual. That's not really much of a difference when you're talking about the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. And that's not in a negative light, of course. I mean, Dusty Rhodes, one of the most the most influential figure in the world of professional wrestling.
Very charismatic individual, loved by millions around the world. Dusty Rhodes now.
Even in my generation, he was still loved by my generation.
Mark Lewin now. Got that bionic elbow position ready. Oh! Catches Mark Lewin in the forehead with that elbow. Both wrestlers now battling outside the ring.
Whoa.
Dusty Rhodes now with a chair.
Ouch.
And the ringside table getting involved, ladies and gentlemen. This match quickly turned into a brawl, a
knockout, drag out fight,
so to speak.
Get him, Dusty. Get him.
Ringsiders' chairs being overturned. Dusty Rhodes now being smashed into the guardrail, into the front row.
Now the announcers and timekeepers are going to have to find another place to sit.
Wrestlers now wading into the people in front row ringside here. Maniac Mark Lewin. They don't call him the Maniac without a reason. He's positioning that announcer's table, trying to use that announcer's table as a weapon. Smashing Dusty Rhodes head first.
Ouch.
You can hear the sound as his cranium crashed into that hard table.
Dusty Rhodes, no stranger to taking a lot of punishment, and I think he just got lacerated.
Dusty Rhodes now busted open, ladies and gentlemen, bleeding profusely. In the forehead now, Mark Lewin missing with a steel chair. Dusty Rhodes now fighting on instinct alone, smashing Maniac Mark Lewin into that announcer's table. Now both wrestlers slowly making their way back into the ring.
Come on, Dusty.
The Brass Knuckles title wasn't your traditional wrestling championship. The Brass Knuckles title was more given to wrestlers who are more of an unorthodox type of style. I guess the more of a hardcore style, if you will.
Yeah, really.
We're taking a look at this unorthodox hardcore style of Maniac Mark Lewin as he is chopping Dusty Rhodes in the forehead. Maniac Mark Lewin spending a great amount of time of his career in Asia and the Far East, learning a lot of the martial arts. Dusty Rhodes now bleeding profusely from the forehead, staggering around the outside of the ring.
Whoa.
Dusty better be careful with all that blood pouring out of his head. He doesn't want that blood getting into his eyes.
So always a danger now. Dusty Rhodes biting Maniac Mark Lewin and using that bionic elbow very effectively. And again, Dusty Rhodes with those hard right hands. Dusty Rhodes is a fighter, a street brawler himself, ladies and gentlemen.
Fighting out of the streets of Austin, Texas.
Someone handed him a
chair.
He's got a
handful of hair now. Dusty Rhodes may be blinded by the blood flowing into his eyes, ladies and gentlemen. Signaling for that bionic elbow again. And Mark Lewin has been lacerated. Both men bleeding now.
And now Dusty getting funky like a monkey, if you will.
That was a good impression.
Watching closely now as Dusty Rhodes punishes
get him, Dusty, get him.
Maniac Mark Lewin in that corner.
And Dusty showing off that charisma.
Dusty. I mean, Dusty was popular, like I said, even with my generation.
Of the American Dream. Maniac Mark Lewin now seems to be in another world as he's staggering around among the ringside fans.
He looks like he's trying to get back to the locker room.
Dusty just patiently waiting for Mark Lewin to get back in the ring. With a name like Maniac, there's no telling what he's thinking of right now. And there's Dusty driving Mark Lewin's face into that turnbuckle. Both men are busted wide open, but not.
5 minutes, 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Already 5 minutes into the match, and already both competitors are busted wide open.
Is that supposed to happen?
Dusty Rhodes not willing to give any respite. Again, using the point of that elbow. And the laceration on Mark Lewin's forehead. Now both wrestlers wading into the darkness, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, you can't even see him really hardly anymore.
Capacity crowd here at the Sam Houston Coliseum.
Now, I don't know about you, Bruce, but if I were to go into the darkness with a guy named Maniac Mark Lewin, I would find the light as quick as possible.
Maniac Mark Lewin brought a 2x4 in the ring. Dusty's got it.
Now Mark both were fighting over it, but Mark Lewin.
Wait, isn't that a disqualification?
Dusty Rhodes out with that 2x4. but it was not enough as Dusty Rhodes kicked out at 2.
That should be a disqualification there.
Now Mark Lewin, the dominant one in this matchup now. And Dusty with that bionic elbow smash.
1,
cover.
2. It's all over, ladies and gentlemen. And the winner of this match, Dusty Rhodes, with the bionic elbow.
Dusty Rhodes, the son of a plumber, the new Brass Knuckles champion.
The winner of the match, the new Brass Knuckles champion, Dusty Rhodes. 6 minutes, 23 seconds. The winner of the match, the new Brass Knuckles champion, Dusty Rhodes.
Take a look at.
I'm guessing that's a no DQ kind of match.
Maniac Mark Lewin there. Nice slow motion action. Mark Lewin now with those chops to the forehead, the cranium of the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, distracted by the referee. 1 shot to the back of the head seems to have sent Mark Lewin into unconsciousness, followed up with a hard elbow, 261 pounds, and Bronco Lubitsch counts to 3.
Oh, no.
And the winner, wait a minute.
Oh, no.
Mark Lewin's foot on the bottom rope.
Oh, no.
Mark Lewin's foot on the bottom rope. Bronco Lubitsch not seeing that, ladies and gentlemen.
Well.
However, the winner and new champion is Dusty Rhodes.
Oh, well.
Controversial finish, to
Can't
say
call
the
what
least.
you didn't see, right? I was paying too much attention to Dusty. Oh, well. Sorry, dude. Better luck next time. Okay. I didn't even see the foot on the rope. Did you guys see the foot on the rope? Because I didn't. Yeah, it's a history of the pro wrestling from around the world. If you just want to look up his wrestling OTD, excuse me, on X, and then follow him. He has all these matches. I just, if they had someone I knew, someone I've heard of before, I just kind of, went ahead and bookmarked it. I thought this said Kerry Von Erich. It says Kevin Von Erich versus Jimmy Garvin with Precious, who was his wife. It was Jimmy Garvin's wife. I know who Jimmy Garvin is only because he was in AWA and he was against Curt and Scott Hall. It was him and Steve Regal against Scott Hall and Curt. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. All right. So we are going to go ahead and watch this one from the beginning.
Ladies and gentlemen, your next event of the evening, one fall, 20-minute time limit. From Miami, Florida, at 235 pounds, the man with mirrors on every wall, gorgeous Jimmy Garvin.
Really? Have you been to his house? I don't know about gorgeous.
In the ring with him, his lovely valet, Precious.
And his wife.
Across the ring from Denton County, Texas, 240 pounds, high-flying Kevin Von Erich.
One of the only surviving brother.
In a match like this, you can just sit back and observe it very, without an announcer, I think. I think this kind of match with Kevin Von Erich, who can cavort on the ropes, around the ring, through the air. Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin, who will cavort to some probably late backstabbing deed if he follows his routine. That'll be just...
He's not wearing any boots, Kevin isn't.
The way this one can go, just absolute wildness. Here, a couple of men about the same height, about the same size. But Kevin Von Erich is not the same. He'll get as rough and tough as anybody, or rougher. He may be rougher than even Kerry or Kevin. David.
Yeah, you can't say Kerry. That is his brother.
But he can explode all over that ring.
I didn't say anything.
That opponent. And Mr. Garvin knows that. Now, we were talking to Chris Adams, and he is upset almost to the point of total frustration with this man. Oh, my goodness, look at Kevin Von Erich. I told you, he'd explode, and he does. And Garvin
I can't believe he's not wearing any boots or anything.
Where's my baby?
Somehow you got to know how those Lions and those folks in the Coliseum felt. Garvin must feel like he's going to be thrown.
What the world?
Into the pit every time he gets around. Here's the pickup again.
All right, there he is. Right?
Ah, my goodness.
No, this ain't no timeouts. This ain't no football. There's no timeouts in wrestling. This is not football.
At its wildest.
Contrary to popular belief.
Notice that Precious knows what the sign for timeout is, and she kind of gave that sign to gorgeous Jimmy Garvin. He can't coach it from the sidelines. He can't call timeout. But Kevin, gentlemanly as he is, came off the ropes without an illegal blow.
I guess beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right?
Jimmy Garvin.
Sorry, Jimmy. No.
Kevin Von Erich did a nice job there, but look at that move by Kevin Von Erich. Side mirror.
How could you not want to be touched by his feet?
And then Garvin.
They'd be like, Kevin, don't put your feet on me.
Locked up like a clam.
Wow. Talk about selling.
No. I tell you one thing. Garvin does not sound like Pavarotti.
I hope not.
As Kevin Von Erich using those tremendously powerful legs of his. And on the sideline, Precious is having all sorts of verbal attacks thrown at her by the fans. Things are not going well outside or inside the ring for the Garvin entourage. Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin's afraid of that beautiful face of his. Like the nice.
Aw.
That probably picked him up.
I don't know if I could do that to Curt.
That his spirit soaring. Yeah, he's.
I mean, I would, but
He's ready to go again.
He's all business anyway, so he'd have to focus on the ring, you know.
And so is Kevin Von Erich. Masterful headlock. Garvin has not been able to start anything that he could finish in this bout yet. He started a couple of things, but they've been taken away by Kevin Von Erich. Look out. Another one. Extending that left arm now, really pulling up on it. Kevin Von Erich. Well, the Freebirds and the Von Erichs. Speaking of the Von Erichs, as Garvin can't speak for a moment.
Good thing if Kevin farts, man, Jimmy would never let him forget it.
In Texas. An event that
I'm just saying.
Has been
I'm not saying anything.
After the Von Erich had a disastrous trip to Georgia. Now Kevin with a body slam of Garvin, and look out, there goes Garvin. 1, 2, and somehow, some way, to his credit, he survived that, but maybe only to retreat and not come back. The count is on. Kevin giving him plenty of room. Looks like the count is 8. Well, Kevin doesn't really worry
There's
too
no
much about
timeout.
Garvin on the count.
This ain't football, Precious. Of course, if my husband
Precious
was
quite
a
animated over there
heel,
as
you know,
he helps her charge.
you have to act like a heel too, you know,
Roll
even
back
as their
in into
valet
the
or wife/wife, whatever.
vicious attack of Kevin Von Erich. Vicious in the sense that it just rattles gorgeous Jimmy Garvin. Albeit legal, but tough. And for all other Von Erichs who have a great relationship.
And he looks like Carrie. Eric always reminded me of Carrie a lot, especially in the face.
Kevin Von Erich has Garvin all wrapped up, and Precious has nothing but vocal abuse flying her way. We want sunshine, and that's abusing to her. Oh, look here. Precious on the apron. And Garvin turned around and got a little bit of a chance to pull some hair, it appears. Seems that Precious is learning some of the timing intricacies for her charge. Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin, who has Kevin in a bit of a problem. Now, first time the Garvins had a chance to open up a little bit. Oh, he missed it, and Kevin is back in action. Garvin gets kind of carried away with himself, and he missed that last bit of attack on Kevin Von Erich, and now Kevin is right back in charge. A wild, exciting bout. Kevin Von Erich in charge. And being a wild and exciting, our main event, which will follow Iceman and Andre the Giant against the Super D. That's kind of like in the Valley of the Giants. Up on top, 1, 2, whoa, Garvin. Exerting every ounce of strength to flip Kevin Von Erich out of there. Another body slam. A reverse on the chin. Look at that face. Is that a beautiful face? Garvin thinks it is. Garvin wrapped up by Kevin Von Erich. And the crowd asking for the claw.
Oh, is that what they're asking for? I was like, what the heck are they saying?
No! Kevin Von Erich forcing on Chris Adams.
You mean Kevin Von Erich?
It's a Freudian slip. When you think about Adams, you think about Garvin and vice versa.
No, I didn't think of Chris Adams. Of course, I'm used to Jimmy Garvin in AWA, so. But again, it was only because he was with Steve Regal.
Chris Adams and Sunshine. Chris Adams and Sunshine coming down. You remember last week, Garvin interfered with an Adams bout. And the crowd has gone absolutely bananas. Bonkers, I guess Chris Adams would say. Up and over. Look at that. Kevin Von Erich so catching himself. Chris Adams throwing him over. There's a roll up. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, wow.
Kevin Von Erich defeated gorgeous Jimmy Garvin, but I don't think he would have had to do it without any help from Chris Adams. I think he was going to do it anyway. But certainly the crowd has gone absolutely out of their shoes. Here comes Adams and Sunshine. He said, okay, come on, we'll come on. And gorgeous Jimmy Garvin and Precious have to say, come on in. Checked out in a hurry. And now here's Mark Lawrence.
In 11 minutes and 1 second, Kevin Von Erich wins the event.
Kevin Von Erich, the winner. Chris Adams and Sunshine, the winners too. Winners in the hearts and minds of the crowd of world-class championship wrestling here at the Sportatorium. And Chris Adams and Jimmy Garvin, well, they got to have a big bout some of these days. One for that championship, which is being held up by the NWA. And we shall be back with our main event. Well, before that, we're going to talk to the Iceman. But we got the main event with him, too. So stick around for World.
Okay. Yeah, I thought that was a pretty good one. I like how Chris Adams and them come down and make a whole spectacle of it. So like Chris Adams and Sunshine. I know Jim Cornette had talked about Sunshine for a while, for a little while. Like apparently he comes out and she's like, I want a real man, bless some, she's calling Jim Cornette not a man, I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, that was a cool match. I did like it. When I saw it, again, I'm used to Jimmy Garvin in a different, setting, so in a different territory. But these guys, you got to remember when the territories were around, all these wrestlers would literally go to each individual territory and just, do a storyline. And then when the storyline was finished, you moved on to the next and then the next and then the next. So I'm used to the Jimmy Garvin that was like with Steve Regal, and of course he was with Precious, but then he was against the Scott Hall and Curt Hennig. So that's how I remember it. And of course, Kevin is the only surviving brother of the Von Erichs. So, but he looks so much like, I think he looks so much like Kerry, especially in the face. I would dare say he wrestles like Kerry, but I mean, Kerry was an enigma onto himself. So I'm not going to say too much about that. All right. Excuse me. Sorry about that. So the next one we're going to watch, this is the last one we're going to watch, and it's Antonio Inoki, and I'm not going to pronounce that, versus Dusty Rhodes and Buddy Rose. Dusty Rhodes and Buddy Rose. Okay. Yes. Yes, you heard me right. Antonio Inoki. He's a hometown boy. Of course they were going to cheer him. He was a hometown boy. Home country boy. Well, now I know what the great Antonio Inoki looked like. I've heard Jim Cornette talk about him. I never knew what he looked like. Not a bad looking guy. Come on, Buddy Rose. Come on, Buddy and Dusty. He's going to talk strategy with Dusty. Remember, the Americans were always, supposedly the bad guys. Oh. Yeah, that's smart.
桜井さん、そのローズ、ニューヨークの一級品と言われるだけあって、ボブ・バックランドと対戦したこともある強者なんですが、そのニューヨークの殿堂マディソンスクエアガーデンの情報なんですがね。
Keep saying New York. I guess he was in New York. I know he was in Portland mostly.
4年10ヶ月間にわたって君臨したボブ・バックランドが敗れた。そして政権交代劇はビッグイラニア、アイアンシークがチャンピオンに輝いた。これは思ってもみなかった展開ですよね。そうですね。やはりキレのね。
Dusty, get out of the way. Can't see. Missed.
バディローズの藤波の局面であります。どちらにしてもですね、櫻井さん、その政権交代劇について、NWA を脱退した WWF がですね、
Inoki wants Dusty. Dusty. Let's go, Dusty. Dusty. もう WWF に世界チャンピオンを承認するという動きがね、もう今出てきてますからね。そういう意味ではこれからのなり非常に注目されますね。はい。ダスティ、ダスティ、ダスティ。このダスティローです。あるいはプレイボーイバディローズ、ともにファンシーブラザーズ。非常にトリッキーな動きを得意としております。ショルダーアタック、軽快なテンポで自らロープに飛ぶ。猪木が投げで返していきました。さあ、すくっと立ち上がります。ダスティローです。凄みの世界そのものであるモノクロのこのリング。それを独裁式に変える戦い模様を見せます。ダスティローです。まさにマットの前衛芸術。戦いがアートしていると言っても過言ではありません。このローデスの一挙手一投足。アントニオ猪木はそのローデスに投げを打ちました。そしてすかさず藤波辰巳につないでいます。この新春黄金シリーズ後半、いよいよハルク・ホーガン、ネプチューン、そしてアイアン・マイク・シャープといった重量級が日本に上陸してまいります。果たしてその前にローデス、こういったあたりをアントニオ猪木、藤波辰巳、新世紀軍サイドは分散してくるでありましょうか。分散することができるでありましょう。どちらにしても国境を乗り越えて侵略してくる大人軍団に対しても慎重なあるいはまたラッシャー木村、そして維新軍団とさまざまな軍団構想、過激な絵巻も渦巻いているわけであります。アントニオ猪木にとりましては前門の虎、後門の狼とさまざまな難敵が繰り返しやってまいります。私このタッグマッチでグリーンホールを猪木藤波サイド奪うことはこのガンジン軍団に対して奪うことができるでありましょうか。ローズと藤波の局面であります。山本さん、やはりローズも Tag Dusty again
挑戦の強者という感じですね。
そうですね。やはりちょっとしたチャンスもね使いますからね。そういう結果に出してはいけませんよ。それとですね、アイアンシークはねチャンピオンだと、これは政権交代ということもあるかもしれません。短いかもしれません。でも実力がありますよね。そうですね。うまくねチャンスを生かしてですね、やれば長いね政権を取れると思うんですよね。そんだけの実力ありますから。それとですね、ニューヨークというところですね、やはりどこの国から見てもですね、大都市アメリカっていうとニューヨークっていうになりますよね。
そうですね。
プロレスで一番強いのは誰だというと、今のシャパートランドと言いますよね。おそらくアイアンシックもですね、これで全世界で言ったらちょっとオーバーかもしれませんけど、そのプロレスの盛んな国にですね、すぐ広がりますからね。そうですね。
Well, the Japanese had their own way of wrestling, so it would be different than the American wrestling. Come on, Dusty! Oh my gosh. He's just torturing this boy, Dusty is.
この大会から明日7日はこの新春黄金シリーズ千葉県松戸大会へ移行。そして翌明けて8日になりますが埼玉県戸田市スポーツセンター真昼決戦、その戸田大会からサーキットは東北連戦道の区へ飛んでまいります。そして来週の生中継13日横浜大会でまた関東に舞い戻ってくるであります。ジュニアヘビー大戦争、
Nice job, Rose.
並んでとにかくこのヘビー級の戦いも含めて非常にそのシリーズの流れが注目されるところであります。ちなみに来週の生中継、港の川風をプロレス台風に変える横浜からの生中継におきましては猪木藤波この超過激指定とも長州浜口維新軍団と全面対決をいたします。マットという巨大な大陸を
They are punishing this boy.
そして一発のチャンスを狙うまさにプロレス三国志が今年1984年激動の年にスタートを切ったわけであります。さあハンマーロックバックから固めています。プレイボーイバディローズ、藤波辰巳の息遣いがちょっと荒くなってまいりました。櫻井さん、何か藤波もですね、冷静に試合を運んで、そして猪木につないでいくという、基本パターンをうまく踏襲してますね。
そうですね。今のところはね、本当に素晴らしいね、この本格プレーをね、見せてますね。
そうですね。さあアントニオ猪木の嬉しき逆十字。山本さん、どちらにしても今シリーズ先ほどご紹介したように、外人軍団あるいはその他のですね、維新軍団あるいはラッシャー木村の動向、アレンと結託したさまざまな動きの中で、猪木慎重に一戦こなしていかないととんでもないことになりますね。
一人一人潰していくのは もちろんそうなんですけど、軍団を潰さなきゃいけませんね。そうですね。ラッシャー木村選手なんてですね、アレンと結託して、アレンが今度ブッチャと今日ですね喧嘩しましたよね。これがどういう方向に展開するかね、ちょっとそれが見ものだと思います。
そうですね。徐々に時間がなくなってまいりました。なお来週のこの時間は横浜文化体育館から生中継でお届けしてまいります。まずはジュニアヘビー大戦争。そのジュニアヘビー。
Nobody wants to see that.
試合が組まれています。そして軍団構想、正規軍対維新軍の激突を待っています。来週の港横浜からの生中継にどうぞご期待ください。それでは残念ですがこの辺で後楽園ホールからごきげんようさよなら。
Get off his hair.
さあアントニオ猪木とローズの一騎打ちになっています。先ほど腕式逆十字に取りましたアントニオ猪木、今度はショートアームスアースに取っています。ローズを腕殺しに取っています。追い込んでいますアントニオ猪木、自分のコーナーに近いところであります。山本さん、
You're in the way, dude.
ポジションだとこのようにすぐできる。
これがマジの一番いいポイントを許すわけですね。ポジションですね。
無難にローニングしても、これはいけないわけですよね。
そこのところですね。一番今置かれている階級ですね。そこどういうことを考えなきゃいけませんね。
なるほど。
難しいですね。ただね、リンゴね、一応走るまではいって。
Come on, Dusty.
戦いの方向感覚、これを研ぎ澄ませておかなくてはいけません。さあトリッキーなダスティーローです。ファンキーなプレイが出ました。軽快なフットワーク、蝶のように舞い、蜂のように刺すといったそういった感じの軽快なフットワークを使ってジャブ攻撃、藤波辰巳を翻弄しておいてサイドヘッドロックに取りました。櫻井さん、どうですのこの一連の動きが出るあたりは好調な証ですね。
そうですね。やはりね、ガリッチ決戦の時はね、ちょっとそのまだ選手がね、動けないかなという感じがしたんですがね、ローですはね、フットワークもいいしね、本来のそのローですのね、力を見せてますね。
そうですね。
さすがの藤波が今ちょっとね、フットワークについていけなかったですね。
さあ藤波辰巳ちょっと鼻から出血しています。これはやはり山本さん、どうですのトリッキーな動きの中で、ちょっと鼻から血が出てるようですね。
そうですね。なんかいいパンチを作りましたね。
やはりね、これだけの手術を入ってですね、これだけ大量を背負ってですね、当たればですね、必ずね、出血したりなんかするのは当たり前ですよね。
そうですね。さあバディローズです。狙いすまして喉目を砕く。2ドロップに取りましたバディローズ、ダスティーローですという。
Oh, no, but he's breathing heavy. You can tell he's breathing heavy.
かなり波に乗っております。存在であります。ベテランたちがちょっとリング下で今度はダスティーローズに捕まっています。リング下にからリング上に戻りました藤波辰巳でありますが、今度は反対方向放送席の目の前に藤波を送った。今度はダスティーローですが、両眼フェンスに藤波を打ちつける。藤波がうまく腕でカバーいたしました。そしてリング内に生還いたしました。アントニオ猪木もコーナーを離れて藤波サイドに近寄っていく。さあ藤波から猪木にスイッチ、藤波から猪木につないだ。さあバディローズを捉えるかアントニオ猪木。
Oh, now Buddy Rose is in trouble.
ローにやしておりましたアントニオ猪木の怒りの鉄拳制裁がきっと超満員3000人の観衆からまたしても猪木コールの大合唱、過激なリズムを奏でている。過激なリズムを猪木コールが奏でている。さあその猪木コールを競り受けましたアントニオ猪木、対角線にロードを振った。そして低い体勢からフライングメイヤー、スリーパーホールドに固めていきます。この辺は櫻井さん基本通りですね。
そうですね。猪木のねパンチ攻撃というのはね、体きますね。
そうですね。猪木の
ちょっとねダメージ受けてますよ。
猪木の指を引くストレートと言われています。アントニオ猪木の鉄拳攻撃。さあ対象角のダスティーローデスが入った。そしてアントニオ猪木もそのローデスを呼び込むような一つの一連の牽制にもローズへの攻撃が見えたわけであります。しかし藤波にスイッチした。
Not good. Not good.
の一騎打ちになりました。ロープに送ります。藤波をロープに送る。肘攻撃は藤波がかわす。
Oh no. Come on, Dusty.
アントニオ猪木につないだ。ドロップキック。ドロップキック顔面にヒット。山本さんうまいですね。ローデスも、ピンチと見るや、パートナーにつないでいきます。おっと同士打ち。これは猪木が読んでいた。背中にも目をつけていると言われます。アントニオ猪木がうまく読んでいて同士打ちを誘いました。エルボー攻撃はうまく流れました。エンゼイ切り。さあエルボー攻撃を外しておいてエンゼイ切り。これはどうだこれはどうだ。まさにダスティーローデスをリング下に蹴散らして鬼の犬間に戦艦とばかりにローズを狙い撃ち。アントニオ猪木のまさしく弓を。
Oh no, they lost. All right. So that was 1984. I did not know that. Okay, cool. So I'm actually going to stop sharing. And I'm going to take a 5-minute break just in case there's any foul ups. I can just do that on break. But I will be back with you. We're going to watch Curt Hennig versus Rick Martel. And this is before he was a heel and he was in Strike Force. But he was coming back from injury, I believe. Yeah, pretty sure. All right, I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Hey, Curt Hennig fans. Hello and welcome back. I just wanted to make sure everything was going to go smoothly. Here we go. This is Curt, of course, Mr. Perfect versus...
Quick start to this matchup between Rick Martel and Mr. Perfect. I'm Sean Mooney along with Lord Alfred Hayes. And Alfred, a victory here for Rick Martel would certainly help bring him back to the top of the World Wrestling Federation. As you well know, Mr. Perfect, he has a flawless record.
Yes, and Rick Martel would be the very first one to do that if he could break that record, that flawless record of Mr. Perfect.
Come on, Curt.
This is a very, very important match for Martel. You're absolutely right.
And Alfred, did you get a look at him earlier? He is in fantastic physical condition.
He really is. Both these men are. What a tremendous arm drag that by Mr. Perfect.
That's Hennig Martel almost over to the ropes.
I tell you, that type of arm drag can knock all the wind out of you very, very quickly indeed. I'm surprised that Martel is up on his feet.
Yeah, perfect
so
flex.
Not alone.
That's right.
The result of a dislocated shoulder.
Yes.
Let's go, Curt.
Yeah, come on, Curt.
Snaps him over with a hip toss.
What he said.
That was really.
Is that what Kim? Second off
by Curt Hennig. He was on his left leg, and he brought that right leg for the sweep, and that was really perfectly executed.
Perfectly.
Yes.
Well, Mr. Perfect, apparently, fireman's carry there by Curt Hennig. Apparently trying to make Rick Martel's return to the World Wrestling Federation a short trip.
Yes. You know, we've watched Mr. Perfect a lot recently, Sean, and he often tests the firepower of his adversaries, but it doesn't look like he's going to test Rick Martel's because that might be a fatal decision to make.
Well, thus far, Mr. Perfect.
Ow.
That may have changed the pace, definitely. A very sharp elbow to the jaw of Mr. Perfect. That woke him up.
It certainly did. Martel does look well. He's taken 3 tremendous falls so far at the outside of this match, but it doesn't seem to have shaken his confidence or anything at all. He's looking really well.
Oh.
Referee goes for a break there. Mr. Perfect takes full advantage of it with 4 tremendous rights. Martel reverses.
Not the back Martel.
Oh, the fired up Rick Martel.
Oh.
Sends Mr. Perfect down twice and then completely out of the ring.
Forgot about the table.
Wow. Martel looking so good with those moves. And Mr. Perfect certainly looking.
Completely forgot about the table. You okay?
There, he was having great difficulty just getting to his feet.
And I think he'll have great difficulty persuading himself mentally to get back into that ring again and fire his own salvos against Martel.
Well, Mr. Perfect taking his time, trying to recover. You know, he went right across that table there.
All right, I'm going to have to pause for a second, and I have to go on another 5-minute break. Be right back, guys. Okay, sorry about that. All right, let's get back to the action.
The floor. That hardwood table, which is along
Get him back!
We had a close look at Martel, I beg your pardon, Mr. Perfect then, and he certainly looked very worried, Sean.
Come on, Curt.
Well, Rick Martel has been out of action for some time, and perhaps
I didn't hear what he said, but yeah, I agree.
Thought he may be lacking.
You think he underestimated him then?
I think definitely so. If he did before, I don't believe from this point on he will.
No, Martel looks really brimful of confidence.
Come on, get him back.
And now Curt Hennig has recovered some of his posture.
Well, Rick Martel sensing the change in this match right now. He wants to get it underway.
Oh, sorry.
Before the momentum can die down at all.
Yes, he's recovered himself now. He's back to his old Mr. Perfect. That assault by Rick Martel, though, certainly sapped some of that confidence in him, and he had a look of consternation upon his face when he went outside the ring, but he's back in again now, and he's moving very well.
Hip toss by Rick Martel. Holding the armbar now. Rick Martel and Mr. Perfect locked up. Martel to the corner. Ducks out of the way of a charging.
Come on, Curt.
And look at this action, Alfred. Back to back. It has never stopped from the minute the bell rang.
They have been moving at an alarming rate of speed, and so far not one of them has shown any signs of wear from this. Well, I don't know. Maybe perhaps now Martel is beginning to show that sign, but it is a wonder that they haven't shown it prior to this. Both men really hammering away at each other.
But Alfred, I'll tell you, before this match, I must admit, I had my doubts about Rick Martel. After witnessing the savage beating he took at the hands of Axe and Smash and Demolition. I mean, I had my doubts whether or not he would walk normally again, yet alone step into the ring.
Yes, he seems to have recovered from that, but he hasn't recovered from that suplex that Mr. Perfect laid on him just a moment or two ago. And he is stunned. He's in trouble outside the ring there, but he's not showing any signs of that shoulder injury, though.
Well, having his head
if he
smashed
was
into the
injured with his shoulder, trust me, he wouldn't be
Perfect,
wrestling.
has slowed down his return to the ring as well. But he is back in.
Yeah, maybe a little foolhardy there because he still had quite a few seconds of the count, but he could have rested a little more. But that's not Martel's way. It's not his style at all.
Well, he said something to him
Mr.
there. I don't know
Perfect.
what he said.
Taking advantage of the situation right now. Rick Martel hurt. Stretches him to the apron. Hard elbow across the throat.
Referee taking his time with this count.
Right, because she keeps touching Curt.
Once again, Alfred, I'm
they
sure
both
Mr.
keep touching
Perfect
Curt.
aware that
Curt didn't mind as
Rick
long as she didn't want to like
Martel's
grab
neck
him or
suffered
something.
most of the
Grab a
damage
hold of him.
of that attack by Demolition.
And now he's working on that neck and really on that shoulder as well. So this is
Would you agree with those tactics, Alfred, by Mr. Perfect?
Well, I have to go along with them, yes. I mean, to be a successful wrestler, you're in a man's game here, and the only way you're going to get to the top is to be absolutely ruthless. It's no good being a namby-pamby type wrestler or a sissy. You've got to go in there, and you've got to seek to destroy it.
Yeah.
And Perfect does that very, very well indeed.
And his record reflects just that.
Exactly. He's so intense. Once he's on top, he doesn't let you off the hook.
Inverted headlock here. And Mr. Perfect is really putting on the pressure. You can see it in the face of Rick Martel. But how much strength is that taking from Curt Hennig?
Well, really, that drains your strength. And Martel, he's wearing well this storm. He's weathering it. And if he can continue for just a moment or two, I'm sure he'll find something.
Tries to come across with a flying body press. Hennig just ducked. And this could be it for Rick Martel. No.
That might be a sign of ring rustiness there to try that high-risk move at such a point in this match, because at the moment, Curt Hennig is fully aware of everything that's happening.
Mr. Perfect hard into the corner. A right and a left by Martel. Martel takes the legs right out from
I don't like that move.
Mr. Perfect.
I know it's one of his best. I still don't like it.
Martel is absolutely amazing. His conditioning is so good. Look at this tremendous recovery he's made. A great
not the back.
recovery.
Not the back.
And a back up. Wait a minute. We have a bell. But that is not stopping
Comes
the battle.
to a draw.
I do believe the time has expired on this particular match, Sean.
Well, however, it was an incredible match. Well, we're not quite sure of the decision. Let's find out.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time limit on this bout has expired. The official decision, a draw.
A draw. All right. So we're going to stop and stop sharing. Yeah, that was a great match. They went to a draw. Because I don't think when they came back, they didn't want Martel to like really lose. You know, he just come back from an injury. And of course, they didn't want Curt to lose either. So I think it was a great match between two professionals who actually knew what the heck they were doing. I think that's probably why they didn't want to, have Curt go to they were in the middle of that perfect run. So, the perfect streak or perfect record or something. And of course, when he comes back from injury, you don't want the guy to lose the first time. So I'm sure Martel's like, no, I don't really want to lose. And Curt's like, no, I can't lose because I'm in the middle of my perfect record. So, but it was a great match nonetheless. The fans screaming was funny because they kept trying to touch Curt. They're like, touch. Curt didn't care if you touched him. I think it was more like if you tried to grab him, then he would get like defensive and stuff. But fans, when they're drunk, you don't remember any of that stuff. So I'm so glad that no guy fans, jumped the barricade and wanted to fight him, because that would kind of be not so good. Anyway, that is our show for this week. I know it was sort of short, but kind of the same. We watched 3 matches, and we'll watch 3 matches next week. And we'll watch along to Curt's next match the next week on primetime. So I don't remember who that is. I'm drawing a blank, guys. But no matter what happens, we'll watch it next week. From now on, everyone will hear shameless plugs. And also, just for you YouTube guys, the AI song at the end is AI generated. Look in the description field. You can make your own AI song from that website. That's where I made mine. And you are free to use yours. Okay. Remember, everyone, nobody beats Mr. Perfect. Nobody. Okay, guys, this is where we're going to do some shameless plugs here. So the first shameless plug, if you could please go over to my other show, which is Black Magic Talk. I will put the links in all the description fields. If you could just kind of browse it, if you are not only a wrestling fan, but you like Wicca or paganism, and you'd like to learn more about it. We just did some recent episodes. So if you'd like to hop over there, just click the link in the description field. If you would like to give to the Black Magic Talk Patreon, that link will be in the description field. And again, if you would like to have a tarot reading on the show, you can DM me on X. My link for that X will be in the description field. If you would like to do one off the show, you can also just DM me and I will give you my rate. My co-host is Matt Collins. He can also give you a tarot reading on the show or off the show. If it's on the show, all you would have to do is become a Patreon supporter for $5 a month. You get all kinds of perks. And again, we can let you know when you can come on the show. And if you'd like to do it off the show, Matt can definitely give you his rating for doing tarot. The next shameless plug I would like to do is, of course, Pro Wrestling Talk will always be on Saturday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. It is scheduled to change, but Angel and I will let you know on the Wrestling X. So if you would like to DM us at any time, me and Angel, my link will be in the description field for my Wrestling X, and that is for Pro Wrestling Talk, and also for this podcast, Curt Hennig Was the Best, Changed My Mind. If you would like to give to the Patreon, I have for Curt Hennig Was the Best, Changed My Mind. Again, you can go and look in the description field. It should be there. I have $1, $3, $5, and $10. The other show is just $1, $5, and $10. I'm sorry, it's $3, $5, and $10, I think. I'm not sure. I'd have to double check. But if you could give, thank you in advance. If you'd like to ask any questions for Pro Wrestling or Black Magic Talk, you are free to direct message me on X, or Angel, my host for Pro Wrestling Talk. Again, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Saturday, unless it is scheduled to change, but we will definitely let you know beforehand. So, of course, this show, I'm going to do a shameless plug for this show. Again, $1, $3, $5, and $10 you can contribute on Patreon. If you would like to give on Cashapp, I will take donations on Cashapp, but direct message me on X if you'd like to do that, and I will give you my handle. So if you have any questions like about the show or any technical questions, you can always direct message me on my X, and I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. The next shameless plug I would like to do is for Hardlands Media, Kit Cabello, someone I call a good friend of mine. Please check him out. He is Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Central, and that would be 10 p.m. Eastern. So 9 a.m. Central, he is Monday through Friday, sometimes Saturday, depending on when you can catch him in a good mood for a Saturday brunch. If he does do Saturday brunch, I usually am sleeping or at work, so but check him out. He's really good on politics, and I have the pleasure of calling him friend. Some more shameless plugs. If you could also subscribe to Angel in the Afternoon. He does a great job on politics as well, and that's Angel in the Afternoon, and he's usually on 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Friday. That is also scheduled to change. If you have any questions about it, he'll usually let you know. And he will definitely, you can direct message him if you need to get a hold of him. The last one is Deconstructing. His name is Dave. I really recommend him too. He has a little podcast on YouTube. All you'd have to look up is Deconstructing Topics, and he does some really good stuff. I really recommend you guys check him out. Subscribe to everybody I just said here, and check them out. And remember, everyone, nobody beats Mr. Perfect. Nobody. Hey, Curt Hennig fans, just want to let you know that the ending outro song is AI generated. Again, it is AI generated. Thank you all for listening. And remember, everyone, no one beats Mr. Perfect. Nobody.
He walked into the ring, a legend set to soar. In the flashing lights you could hear the crowd roar. With a twinkle in his eye, a swagger in his stride, Curt Hennig, he was more than a star in their eyes. From the farms of Minnesota to the wrestling hall, he stood undefeated through it all. A father, a friend, a hero we'd see, perfect in the memories for you and me. He was Mr. Perfect, never missing a beat. With every match, he'd rise to his feet. Though he's gone now, a hero we'd see, perfect in the memories for you and me. In the quiet of the evening, stars shining bright, you'd hear tales of his glory, longing to the night. With a grip like a vice, and a smile that gleamed, he lived every moment like out of a dream. His days in the sun, and the nights in the cold, stories of Curt never grow old. Remember the laughter, battles hard fought, perfectly missed, but never forgot. He was Mr. Perfect, never missing a beat. With every match, he rose to his feet. Though he's gone now, a hero we'd see, perfect in memories for you and me. He was Mr. Perfect, never missing a beat. With every match, he rose to his feet. Though he's gone now, his legend's still strong. Here's to Curt Hennig,